What's going on, guys? Coach Chris Specht here, the wise guy. I am back. So I am gonna do a quick little YouTube session here today, and we're gonna talk a little bit about inventory, and we're gonna talk about what, who, where, how much, all that we can about inventory, because it's Q4, and Q4 is the most important season or quarter for selling on Amazon. So you need to make sure that your inventory game is tight, 100%. You got to make sure that your inventory game is tight and you have ample stock. But not only that, you want to make sure that you also manage the inventory that you have that is not moving. There's lots of reasons. We'll kind of go over a few of them. And if you have any questions on that, on inventory in general, comment. Now I'm using OBS. Normally I don't, but on a Mac, I guess you can't stream straight off YouTube. You don't have access to that streaming feature, so that's too bad. I'm gonna have to open up my other laptop because I prefer it that way, because I just get more of a dashboard look than with OBS. So unless I play around with this, I just don't really want to learn a new software. But anyways, bear with me. The cool thing about OBS is I can kind of flip and I can do some video capture, so I can actually screen change. I can jump on here, and I can go, okay, well, I can show you Jungle Scout if you guys want to know anything on Jungle Scout. I can kind of jump back and forth, so that's kind of cool. I played with this years ago when I was first starting out and first doing videos. But then I learned other techniques, did a lot on my phone, all that type of stuff. So again, just bear with me. As far as the chat screen, I don't have YouTube up in the background. So I'm going to throw it up on my phone right now. And if you guys have any questions about what I'll talk about with regards to inventory, let me know in the comment section below. So, first things first. This is the season. You want to send your inventory to Amazon. Let me just flip this. You want to send your inventory to Amazon. You want to increase your inventory levels up to a level that man, it's getting a little packed in here, man. I got so much stuff. Plus, I got to get rid of these old balls. You want to increase your inventory levels up, obviously to a point where you can afford to ship as much inventory to Amazon at this time of the year as you can. Inventory-wise, it's the Christmas season, so what do you want to sell? Obviously, toys are going to be a really high volume seller. Toys. The next kind of highest volume selling product that you're going to see out there is hers. So things for females, whether it's the clothing niche, the shoe niche, hers gifts, we'll call it her gifts. Okay. Guys love to use Amazon because of the convenience. Obviously, it's so much easier to shop on Amazon than to go to a mall and do shopping there. So you want to focus on finding products in the perfume category. And again, do some research. Use Jungle Scout. Check the numbers maybe before you go out and start sourcing. Just to give you a little bit of a competitive advantage. But again, all you need is your sourcing phone, your scanner to scan products. The next thing that is popular is obviously him. So gifts for him, gifts for her, gifts for him. So her and him, gifts. I'm just writing this down so I don't forget what I'm saying here. So toys, her gifts, his gifts. Again, for most ladies, they like to look at grooming for guys. So things to keep them smelling great and looking great. Shaving kits, beard trimmers, the whole kind of grooming kits are great. Obviously, clothing like that, I find that is, I stay away from clothing in general. I don't like really selling t-shirts, although that's an area I want to get into because I just think it's fun creating kind of a cool t-shirt with a a slogan or some sort of catchphrase or something. That's just something I want to get into. But just selling t-shirts in general isn't going to be a high turnover in because it's super competitive. But boxers, briefs, socks, anything in that niche. I wouldn't say ties per se, but I have a lot of success with boxers, briefs, socks, because they really don't change. Adidas, Reebok, blah, blah, blah. Under Armour, for men, for females, obviously, I'm thinking of that female lingerie. Jeez, I can't even think of it right now. But everyone knows what I'm talking about. You want to find brands that are obviously out there, so check those stores and look into their clearance. The great thing about clothes is it's always got a clearance section. But what I would encourage all Amazon sellers to do before they start buying that inventory is to go and check out the terms of service on Amazon. Now, what I would also recommend you doing is a lot of times, a lot of the clothing may or may not have a listing, especially if you're in Canada. So if you're in Canada, you might find some of these great buys that don't have a listing. Don't be scared to invest into some products that don't have a listing. Just make sure that you find inventory that is in the same niche, almost the same category, the same product, that is high ranking. So you're going to have to do a lot of manual typing and searching niches as a general to see what ranks you got going on. Then just create your own listing and optimize it using a lot of the similar information that those low ranking products are using. In the title, in the bullets, that type of thing. So just kind of almost copycat it a little bit, but keep it in your, keep it simple. Don't use any language that might be trademarked or anything like that. But create a listing. Go and gather go to a barcode site, UPC code site that you can get 100 barcodes for $20 or something like that. And invest in those because you may need to use a bunch of them if you're going to go into the clothing niche. Who do we got on here? What's going on, Roshi? Roshi786, good to see you. So if you have any questions, hit me up. So we want to hit toys. Then we want to hit gifts for her. We want to hit gifts for him. Okay. The next category that you're going to want to look into is, well, I don't sell in the book category. Like, I don't put too much inventory into the book category. I literally stopped buying books September 29th, unless it's books that are under 100K ranking. If I'm finding any of those bad boys, then I'll invest into that. But really, I'll even drop that ranking to even much lower than that, 75, 50. I will never turn those books away. But right now, I want to funnel all my cash flow into categories that are popular right now on Amazon during this season. Okay? A great way to learn what sells, and I always say this, I say this over and over and over, but a great way to learn what sells during the Christmas season is to either A, go into like a Walmart or a big store like a Target or wherever, any type of big box retailer that sells everything, and to just take a walk around the store and see what they're putting at point of view, and see what they're stacking high, and see what they're putting in the aisles. Obviously, see what they're focusing people's attention on, because those are going to be the categories that are going to be hot sellers right now on Amazon. Whether you're in a Walmart or a Bay or a Target or doesn't matter. London Drugs, you're going to notice what it is you want to sell because of what you're finding as you're walking around. So the other way you can do it is you can go on to Amazon. They're already starting. You can actually buy water on there, but they're obviously already starting to show you what is selling, what categories are selling right now. So things like, we'll jump on here. I'm going to flip my screen for you guys. Pam. We'll minimize this bad boy. Just throw this down. So I'm on Amazon right now. See if they show me anything right now. Anything focused on. So today's deals, games, bestsellers in the toys and games category. And then they're focusing on a lot on home devices, on mine. The funny thing about Amazon, it's obviously going to tailor it to what you're browsing. So not the best category to look into, or as far as your dashboard on Amazon. Electronics are going to be your number 4. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is electronics. So why I like to kind of put electronics a little bit lower, probably number 4 or number 5, is because with electronics, there is more risk involved. There is more risk of return involved when you're looking at selling electronics. So keep that in mind. But there is, again, if you're able to successfully buy electronics for the season, then, and you're able to successfully buy it at a deep discount, then it's going to be a really high chance of flipping the items. Again, there's going to be a lot of items that are going to be low ranked that you're going to be able to scan and find that are going to be hot sellers. But electronics is definitely a category that you're going to want to try to find good inventory in to flip on Amazon. Now, keep this in mind. A lot of people do wait until, Boxing Day, Black Friday is coming up. So if you're in the US, Black Friday is a great time to go and source the products, so then you can resell them on Amazon. Come, again, turn that inventory around, get that going. Rosie just said, I just applied for a professional account today and waiting for approval. Any solid tips for me as a new retail arbitrage? Yeah, just tune in, watch my videos, Roshi. Just go back maybe the last 5 or 10 videos that I did and try to watch as much of those as you can. I give you a lot of tips, especially current stuff. And then even some of my old stuff, I have a lot of, let's just flip something over here. I'll flip the screen. I have a lot of, good videos that talk about different categories, how to do product research, my retail arbitrage sourcing videos in the different stores that I go into in Canada, Canadian Tire, Dollaramas, Dollar Trees, Toys R Us, all those places. So my advice would be go and just start binge watching as much of my videos as you can, specific to the stores, and then probably my last 10 videos that I did, try to go through a lot of those and get an idea of just different products that you can start investing in your inventory. But this, again, this really specific one is Q4. So we're going Q4, and we're trying to determine what categories we want to funnel our money into, because that stuff is going to come and go. You probably obviously missed Halloween. So, you know, that stuff you should have launched 2 months prior. August, September, October, so almost 3 months, the whole quarter prior. So if you want to capitalize, got to get your inventory to Amazon 3 months in advance. So right now, you got to get your inventory to Amazon 3 months in advance. So teddy bears, hearts, t-shirts, I love you roses, all that type of stuff. You got to look early. The later you get there, obviously, the less traffic you're going to get on your product. Okay, so we talked about toys. Go into electronic stores, find the clearance section, scan away. If the rank looks good, then buy away. Let's talk about ranks before we get to maybe in like a fifth category. So for toys, what kind of rank should you want to buy in? In the US, it's going to be a much broader rank. Probably under 200K would be a fine range, because they have a much broader scope of products. In Canada, I'm going to suggest all toys under 100K you should consider bringing into your inventory. After 100K higher, you'll want to make sure that there's more profit to be made in that range if you're going to bring it in. So if you're going to bring in a 150K rank toy, you're going to want to make sure there's $50, $60 profit in that toy before you bring it on, because you want room, one, to move, to lower your price, to try to liquidate it. You want room to also advertise your price of your toy. So again, the lower the rank, under 100K, which is kind of almost standard for me anyway. I don't mind moving up 10-20%, so 120K on toys, and I'm comfortable. It's not a thought. I'll bring in inventory. But you know, you don't want to go too crazy. You know, you shouldn't have an issue with finding lower ranked toys under 100K. You should not have a, like, my wife and I went to London Drugs the other day, and we were able to find, I don't know how much we spent, but we probably found 10 different toys, all of them ranked under 50K. I'm pretty sure for the most part. I don't think we did have any toys. Now, I did pick up a couple of toys that had no rankings at all. It was kind of a category of toys with just different colors of the toy. 2 or 3 had ranks, and then 2 or 3 had no ranks at all. But I think with the no rank toys, especially with the cost, it was like a $2 toy, so low investment. I wouldn't care if I, you know, dispose of the toy after 6 months of it not moving. No big deal. But the potential was I could sell it for between $20 and $30. Obviously, $30 would be too high. It would be out of Amazon's, you know, cheap price range, or impulse buy range. You know, but I could turn that $2 toy into a $19.99 toy or a $17.97 toy, run an ad on it, and still make probably $10 off of that toy. So I don't mind a no rank toy as long as I get a good gut feeling that that toy will move, it will sell. Okay. In the category of gifts for people, for her or him, keep it in the 50K rank. I'm going to say the 50K range or less, because again, this is a time where people are buying gifts, so they're willing to spend more money. Plus, in those categories, there's a lot of, you know, and 50K again is arbitrary. It depends really on, you know, are you looking at grooming fragrance? Are you looking at fragrances? Are you looking at grooming products? Are you looking at soaps? Are you looking at kits like gift baskets? Are you looking at, there's so many different categories. So you almost need to check the category and run your numbers and see what kind of sales at each different rank. And guys, use the Jungle Scout estimator tool. Just go on there, just go on to the different categories and put in a certain rank and just see the numbers that are being sold on a monthly basis. And you'll be able to judge for yourself where's the cutoff for every rank. You can do it for every category. So I'll do a demonstration on that for you guys, and I'll show you how I come up with my BSRs. And again, everyone's are different, so I don't really want to put much emphasis into BSRs, but just a comfort range and what you should be striving for. I'm going to say for his and her gifts, probably the 50K range. Try to find that range. Again, if you're out of that range, look for higher profit products. In electronics, I'm going to say that it's 80K or less. So 80K or less. Again, these are arbitrary numbers. As far as my gut feeling, I like to stick under 80K for electronics. Again, I'm in the price point of up to about $29 in that price point. After about $30 price point, $29.99, then I'll look outside of the 80K, maybe a little bit higher, but I want to see a pretty substantial profit margin. If I'm going to invest outside that, I might look at a higher ranked products. The reason I say that is because those products don't sell as frequently, but the sales rate will go up during Q4. So you're going to see an increase in sales in Q4 for more expensive products. And you'll have obviously more profit to run PPC advertising, coupons, and all of that stuff. So I like to buy the more expensive product and run good ads on it and invest in that because I know that that product will sell. Okay, and then for number 5, the 5th category for inventory as far as investing in Q4. I'm going to say, let me just go back here, is going to be automotive, clothing. See, I stay away from clothing, electronics, health and beauty. It's probably going to be the health and beauty category. And again, health and beauty are, the reason I'm putting health and beauty last is because for some of you, you're going to be gated. So you're not going to actually have access to the health and beauty options. So some of you are going to be gated. And if you're gated in the health and beauty category, then, there's no point in being in the 4th slot. Electronics, a lot of times you're not gated, or it's easier to sell products in the electronics section. So let's see if I can look at the best sellers. So let's just take a look at best sellers. So this is best sellers in health and beauty. So, I mean, you're going to want to glance through all of these categories and see what their top sellers are. The best way to get to your top sellers is just Google the category, Google toys, Amazon toys, bestseller, and it'll just bring you right to the bestseller list. It's not going to give you the option of his and her gifts, but you can look at, again, all these categories: skincare, hair care, fragrances, tools and accessories. All these ones are going to be extremely high volume products on Amazon during this time. So you're going to need to scan a lot of these things. And what I would do right now is check a lot of these brands, run them in your Seller Central account under Add Product, and see if you're gated or not, or restricted or unrestricted for those brands. And if you are restricted, apply for everyone. Now, Roshi, because you're new, You're going to have some categories that you're not allowed to sell in, but for the most part, just look for the categories that you are eligible to sell in, and you will be fine. Um, so that's the first half of what we wanted to talk about here. The second half, let's talk about inventory, inventory that is that you currently have on hand. So for most of you who have been selling on Amazon for a while, you've accumulated so much inventory up to now that you probably have a lot of inventory that is slow moving or not moving at all. And so my question to you is, how are you managing your current inventory levels? What are you guys doing with that inventory? So a lot of new sellers aren't really familiar with Amazon's long-term storage fees, LTSF, long-term storage fees. Okay. Long-term storage fees is if your product have been at Amazon, I believe it's for 6 months or longer, you start to incur fees, storage fees. And those storage fees can add up, especially if you're not monitoring your inventory. So it is super important that you monitor your inventory and you really liquidate by dropping the price of products that are not moving, have low traffic, have not been selling. You got to get rid of them, because what's happening now is with this inventory that you have, Amazon's charging you to hold on to that inventory, and it adds up monthly. It adds up. So there is a spot, if you go to your Amazon Seller Central, you log in, on the right hand side you're going to have like things like your payment summary and your sales summary, and then you're going to get to a little section that's called your inventory planning, and that's where it's going to show you a dashboard where you can work on your inventory. Things like, and I'll kind of scroll, I'll show you mine. Let me just zoom in here. Okay. So let me jump over here. I'll show you mine. This is just my current inventory planning here. We'll flip over. And we'll go down. Okay, so here it is. So this is my inventory planning. Last updated, it says October 1st, 2018. So days in inventory. You got SKU to restock. So it shows you I have 69 SKUs that are running out on inventory with, that I need to get stock on because they're popular. So that is literally a bucket list of inventory that you should be searching for. Instead of you trying to figure it out yourself, Amazon tell you right here, I got 69 products that I should dump all my cash flow into. And then, so really, SKUs to restock today should be number one on my list, as far as categories. Now, there's going to be books in there. I'm going to say, not buy the books. But number one, SKUs to restock today. SKUs to restock today. So I'm just writing it down. So primarily, I want to hunt for those products. Then, as you can see, I have excess units. So I have about 3 private label products that have mass inventory. Like one of my private label products was an accessory to my major product, and it was just a terrible buy. Now, mind you, it only cost me like 20 cents a product, but I have like 1,000, probably have close to 1,400 still in inventory, and I only bought 1,500 of them. So I'm gonna have to recall that inventory somehow, see what it would cost me, and then make a decision to maybe rebundle it in a different fashion or something. But currently how it sits, it's not really worth anything to customers. It's just too expensive for what you get. But so that takes up 1,500, and then with the other 800 SKUs, I have another private label product that has been a slow mover. The category went super competitive, so I'm just gonna liquidate that product and never sell it again. I'll just have to break even or lose maybe a little bit of money on it, but I'm gonna get rid of that inventory and then move on from there. Stranded inventory, it's gonna show you that. So those are all things, and then you can actually click on each one and it'll take you right to those lists. And the great thing about that is within each category here, it's going to actually give you tips on what you should do to effectively move this inventory. So let's click on this bad boy right here. See if I can show you this one. This is going to show you some of the toys. Stop showing me this tour. I don't need to know about your tour. Okay. So this is the dashboard for your inventory. So it's got your dashboard, it's got your restock inventory, manage excess inventory, inventory age is great. It's going to show you how old your products are. And from there, you can make a conscious decision like that's been sitting in inventory for 365 days and you haven't sold any. Get rid of it, liquidate it, just remove it, have it shipped back to you, or just dump it. You can dump your inventory, pay a fee to have your inventory dumped, and just move on from it. So there's lots of options there that you can look at. If you have any questions about each one, leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer those for you. But as you can see here, this is my 69 units that I should be targeting that were hot sellers for me. And the great thing about this, so this is a list. If you're a new seller, you're not going to obviously have this. So you're going to need to go and start increasing your inventory for Q4. But in this list, you're going to see like this product here, Pokemon Pikachu balls that I bought. I'd sold 9 of them in the last 30 days, $200 worth for $22.98. I was getting those for like $4 each. I'm out of stock. I ran out. I can't find them anywhere, but what Amazon is telling me is if I could find source for them to buy 72 of them. So they're predicting I could sell 72 of them. I don't know how over what course of time. I would probably predict that that would be like possibly within the month, or at least, I don't know if that's a 6-month window or a 3-month window. I'd be interested in figuring that out. But it's telling me to buy 72 of these balls. So it's saying go crazy on those. So at $4 each, it's saying spend 200 and what is that? 72 times 4, 7 times 4 is 28, $288 on those balls. This book, super popular, low-ranked book. I sold 10 in the last 30 days at $19.50 each. I have days left to supply. I have 1 unit left. 4 days. Every 4 days it sells. So they're saying, I guess if it sells every 4 days, that's 48 days. They're saying to hold inventory for. So they're saying go get 12 more of those books. So you can see how helpful this is. This is really helpful. Create a shipping plan, high recommendation. No, I don't want to do that. Let's get rid of this. Still not familiar with all these kind of features here. But so yeah, so there's a lot I can go through. Obviously all these different products that I was selling. We're doing extremely well. So there's a little glance at some products that you could probably go buy and sell if you can find them. So now when you go into other ones, like if I wanted to manage my excess inventory, on the right, it's going to give me tips like change the price. It's going to give you that recommendation. It's going to give you the recommendation of remove inventory. You're never going to sell this. It's going to give you a recommendation of advertise. We recommend you advertise this listing. It's going to give you lots of options that you can click on and then essentially take the advice of Amazon and actually put into action what they ask you to do. So if they're asking you to get rid of the inventory, then you might want to consider getting rid of the inventory rather than keep paying all these excess fees for storing that inventory for a long period of time. Now, whether you want to bring that inventory back to you, figure out what to do with it, or dispose of the inventory, there's lots of ways to do that. If you want a tutorial on that, I can literally do that on my phone, but it's really easy to do. You would just click your inventory, take an action. You can, and here it'll say dispose, or it'll say something else. Once you click one of those actions, it'll take you to your disposal page. It'll show you your address, and at the very top, it'll say, do you want to ship it back to yourself, or do you want to choose to just dispose of it? Amazon will still charge you a pick fee, okay, per item. So they'll charge you a pick fee per item, but it's not all that bad. So as far as that's concerned, get familiar with these this inventory dashboard. Again, the way to get to that dashboard is your main screen, right side, scroll down to your inventory, click on any one of those links, and it'll take you right to your dashboard. So yeah, so that kind of covers everything as far as inventory, basic knowledge of how to manage your inventory. Because Amazon is so sophisticated with what information they're giving you, managing it isn't all that hard, especially adding to your inventory or taking away from your inventory, getting rid of inventory. Managing it is not all that hard. Now, there's going to be certain situations where you got to look at how much did I really spend for that product? How long do I want to hold on to it? So let's say you spent $1.50 on a book and the potential to sell that book for $25, and it's a really high ranked book. It's like 700,000 rank. You obviously bought it for the hopes of selling it over a period of time. So you have to determine how long are you willing to hold on to that book for? Like, what is your end date? Is your end date 1 year? Is your end date 2 years? Is your end date 6 months before you are going to dump the inventory? Look at your storage fees. How much per month are they charging you? You're going to need to jump into some of your reports at the top to figure that out. But look at your storage fees and try to figure out what you're paying on a month-to-month basis to keep them in. And what you'll notice is if you do the math, your cost plus storage fees plus your shipping, etc., it's going to get to a certain point where you'll never break even. You'll now are just going to have to try to recover your money. So, and you got to keep in mind there's the Amazon FBA fees as well when you're actually liquidating your inventory. So you have to keep in mind, okay, there's the FBA fees, minus that, minus my shipping, I'm going to make $10 profit. How long can I store this before $10 disappears and I'm only making $1? Okay, is it 1 year? Is it 6 months? Whatever the case may be, you got to look at that, and then you got to determine what you're going to do, what action you're going to take once you reach that point. So it's important to learn how to manage your inventory and to execute removals on a frequent basis or disposals on a frequent basis. I know there's another option where you can, I don't think it's available in Canada, but in the US, I believe you can actually choose an option to sell it off to Amazon, and Amazon will actually give you something for it. Last question from Roshi. Sorry, dude, I haven't been watching this, but it says, how badly returns affect your account and how to handle them. With returns, Roshi, there's a section on your Amazon Seller Central on your main page that will show you. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, so here under performance, you want to go to account health. Let's click this bad boy, see where it brings me to. Okay, so here's my account health. Customer service, 0 of 950 orders. Okay, I have 0 defective rate of the last 950 orders. I have 0 chargebacks, zero claims. Like, I have nothing. Okay, so that's where you're going to look at your account health. Why does it keep giving me this? And it's going to give me this, and it's going to give me this. Okay, that's where you're going to look at your account health. You got to make sure 2 things. When you're communicated with, when a customer emails you, that you get back to them within 2 hours. Okay, so don't wait 3 hours, don't wait 6 hours, don't wait 10 hours unless you're sleeping. But try to make it your goal to respond to your customers and answer their questions in a positive and professional manner within 2 hours. Even faster, even less than 60 minutes if you can. Set yourself a goal and just stay to that goal. Whatever your standard is, set a standard and adhere to your standard. You have your phone on you all the time. You have that Seller Central app. It's like getting a text message. Really, you should always activate your notifications, and when you see that Amazon badge come up, respond to your customers as fast as you can, because the faster you respond, the better score Amazon gives you, because all they care about is how fast you respond to your customers. That's their primary one of their primary analytics for you. So customer care. It's all about customer care. And so when you respond to your customers, just talk to them. They're going to complain. They're going to say the product was this or that, or they have a question, or they don't know how to use it. It's just a concern. You just got to ask them questions. Tell them you're going to take care of them. Then just ask them questions about what's going on, and just have a conversation with that person back and forth, and try to answer their questions and try to solve the problem and try to prevent returns. Try to prevent returns. You don't want to just slough it off and not have Amazon, or not deal with it and have to have Amazon do the returns, because that means Amazon's losing money. They got to then return the shipping. They got to give the customer back to fulfillment fees, all that type of stuff. So you end up losing your score based on that. So fulfillment by Amazon, you want, I believe it's 1%, or is it 2? It might be 1 or 2%. I can't really remember. You got to have less than 2% returns. Okay, so for example, if you've only sold 10 products and one's returned, that's a 10% return ratio. Now, Amazon does have some, obviously their analytics, I watched a video on this, they keep sale amounts in mind. So if you only sold 10 products, they may okay it that you had a return and you're at 10%. But they're going to monitor your account based on that. Your sales performance, they're not going to unlock you for other categories because you're not really selling a lot. So just focus on getting inventory into Amazon, increasing your sales, and just giving good customer service. Don't worry about returns, especially if you're doing fulfillment by Amazon. If you're doing fulfillment by merchant, you got to take every return that even is questioned by a customer back. You do not want to play with Amazon if you're fulfillment by merchant. They don't trust you in the first place. They don't trust that you have the inventory. They literally put you in a non-trust category. So make sure that you, if you're doing fulfillment by merchant, that you are on top of your returns. That's for sure. That I know for sure. If you're fulfillment by merchant, but I'm not. I'm fulfillment by Amazon for all 700 products I have in inventory, different SKUs, except for one. I have one right now that I'm fulfillment by merchant because it was a return. It was a category that what I was ungated in, and then all of a sudden I got gated in. So I'm just liquidating the inventory I have right now. And that's in some of the videos that I had going. So other than that, that's really just customer service, the hell of your customers. Send them follow-ups once they buy. Just say, hey, it's shipped. 3 days later, say, hey, how do you like it? Just want to check in. This is Roshi from the name of your storefront. Just want to make sure you're happy. 7 days later, follow up again. Say, hey, leave us an honest review. Tell us what you think so that we can grow as a small business on Amazon. And just give them great customer service. Don't be scared to send your customers message using the Amazon platform. Just don't ask for reviews. You can ask for an honest review, an honest feedback using various methods, the feedback systems through Amazon. I'll give you an example. If you buy from Amazon, Amazon will send you a follow-up email. Copy that into a Word document and use that to follow up with your customers with. But I don't know, just give them good customer service. Figure out great ways to give customer service and give it. And that will increase your score. And when you increase your score as a seller, you also ungate yourself in different categories. So keep that in mind. And Amazon will give you an advantage in a lot of areas as well. So, but other than that, that's kind of the customer service side of things. I just wanted to kind of get on here. I'm on already 48 minutes. And talk a little bit about inventory, just the basics of using your dashboard and what to focus on in Q4 and where to go. Okay, so we said number one is stuff to restock today. SKUs to restock today. That's number one. SKUs to restock today, and that's from your inventory dashboard. Whoa, can I see that? SKUs to restock today at the top. That's from your inventory dashboard. I have 69 of them. 69. Okay, I have 69 SKUs to restock today. So I'm going to certainly go and search for that. Obviously, there's going to be so many that are books, but any of the toys, any of the anything, I'm going to go and try to restock all that type of stuff. Number two, toys. Get your toy inventory up for Q4. Your toy inventory is next. 100K or less. I don't mind going to 150K. Okay, as long as it has more profit. Whoa, that's terrible. Okay. Gifts. Okay, his and hers. Gifts. Again, look at all the different categories that Google it. What to buy him for Christmas, what to buy her for Christmas. You'll get these great lists of 10, 20 different products that will sell extremely well. Those are going to be your lists for those products. So again, Google it, print it out, and see what people are saying. Let's do that right now. So let's jump over here. Bam. Minimize that. Let's see, I'm getting better at this. What to buy her for Christmas. 2018. 227 Christmas gift ideas. 50 best Christmas gift ideas for mom, her. Gift ideas for her. There we go. So 25 gift ideas for girls. Shoes, Monopoly. What do we got here? So read next? So bestsellers of necklaces. We got jewelry, keychains. Okay, some of these products are not, so this is like a $32 product, States, so necklaces of the States. These are kind of Shopify stuff, type stuff. Lots of jewelry, obviously. We got MAC, so go into MAC stores, look for stuff that they're blowing out right now. See if there's anything. Pom-pom hats, there you go. Look for those. They obviously sell those in a lot of stuff, Dollaramas, all those type of stores. Again, something like this, you may need to create a listing for. You may need to go buy some barcodes. I'll throw a link in the chat where I buy my barcodes from. I get 50 or 100 for about 20 bucks, 30 bucks. It's super cheap, super easy to create listings, super easy to take photos. I use the Magic app, so and I'll take a picture on a green screen or a green piece of paper, something like it's all buried right now, but yeah, and then I'll just clear the background into white and just have that photo with a white background, throw just a single photo up. We got Sugar Lip Treatment, Lush, Golden Girls, Monopoly, there you go. 9 Perfect Strangers book. So lots of stuff. You can Google all these things, see if you can find a clearance online. There's lots of ways to go find this stuff. But here's a bunch of great ideas on for girls. Okay, same thing you want to Google for guys. Let's go here. Go here. What to buy him for Christmas. "38 Gifts for Men" from Esquire magazine. View the gallery. So they're saying buy the guys. What's this? A nap, some sort of napping setup. Some of these might be cool private label products for sure. Give you a good idea for product research here. Stava Craft Coffee. So if you're ungated in the food section, you might be able to launch some of these food products. You may be able to reach out to some of these manufacturers direct and see if you can buy it wholesale, their food product. I'm sure you can. You might be able to want to do some wholesale. T-shirts. We've got some cool mugs. Cologne, like I said. Some aprons are good. And again, don't think of the exact product that's on this picture, but just the whole niche itself, the category itself, the idea. And then if you come across it, you buy it. Even if it's a cheaper version of a dominoes set or a cheaper version of backgammon, I mean, that's a cool kind of backgammon, but if you can find a cheaper version of backgammon, or if you want to source this from, say, DH Gate, so we'll go DH Gate backgammon set. That's DH Gate. DH Gate, and we'll look at the backgammon set. Might be able to find a cloth version of the backgammon set. But you can get these. Some of these are super expensive. Maybe you can get a nice cloth version. Cloth. No. But anyways, DHgate is a great online sourcing site. Travel. Nothing here, but it's a great sourcing site for things you can buy. You can just add it to your cart, get free shipping and handling, ship it to yourself. It'll be to you in 2, 3, 4 weeks probably. Like here it says ships out within 3 business days. Probably take from China to get to you 3, 4 weeks. So, but anyways, I digress. Let's go back here for him. Frequent thinker, belts, Prada belts. So go to the Prada store, see if you can get any belts for a discount. Wallets. Training for marathon. We got some boots, some shavers, brawn. There we go. Record player, cool turntables. At a high price. Like, there's a lot of great ideas here, and that's what you're kind of looking for when you're Googling it. You're looking for the ideas, write stuff down, have a list, just have those in your mind so that when you are in these different kinds of stores, this also will help you determine what stores to go to buy your inventory. So this kind of takes us into what we'll end with. We'll talk a little bit about my retail arbitrage course that's coming out. So was not able to make the deadline that I set for myself today, which was yesterday, September 30th, for the launch of Retail Arbitrage 2.0. Fortunately, was not able to make that date. So let's just go here. So sorry about that, guys. I tried to get that course done for you and ready. So I pushed it 1 month, mainly because I didn't think the content was good enough. I wanted to have more value in what the buys were for each store. And I could have put out the product and say, hey, here it is, $97 and I'll add to it, but I just didn't feel it would be good enough for you guys. And I wanted to make sure that I have enough video content of the buys and also just demonstrations of the different categories, the different stores, everything that we, everything retail arbitrage specific would be in that video. Okay, so, and again, it's not for people who want to learn the fundamentals. For the fundamentals, buy the Amazon Selling Hustle course. That's available. That's out. There will be a link. You'll need that. That's a prerequisite for the Retail Arbitrage 2.0. See, Retail Arbitrage is by far the fastest growing business model for Amazon sellers in Canada right now. People are asking, is retail arbitrage dead in Canada? Can you make money in Canada? Is it profitable in Canada? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. Unequivocally yes. That's why we're talking about inventory. That's why we're talking about what to invest in, how much to send to Amazon, how to figure out how much inventory to send to Amazon, all that type of stuff. So we're going to hit a lot of categories: product researching in retail arbitrage, inventory, how to make $100 a day, blockbuster days, Amazon blockbuster days, automating your price, ranking your inventory products, bundling, store layouts, top 15 stores in Canada, which translate to the US. Really, it doesn't matter what store you go into, because at the end of the day, it's a scanning game. And what I wanted people to know is all of this was done without any fancy tools, any fancy apps, any fancy scanning devices, all that stuff. All this whole course is done on simply someone who registers for a professional selling business. If you're a guy who just registered for professional selling business and you've downloaded the Seller Central app, which is free, that's all you need. And that's what Retail Arbitrage 2.0 is for. It's for those guys who want to now be able to scale their business up to $500,000 in sales, $500,000 in sales every year. Okay? How to get to that point in selling. And then for Retail Arbitrage 3.0, we'll take it from $500,000 to $1 million, $5 million, anything above and beyond that. So we're going to cross the $1 million mark and then put out Retail Arbitrage 3.0. But at $500,000, You want to get there. Even if you're at 20 points, you're looking at $100,000 profit in your pocket at 20 points. None of my retail arbitrage products are at 20. Well, maybe some of them after I liquidate are that low. But most of mine are about 50 points, 40 points. So yeah, so you're gonna learn the book business, you're gonna learn the bundling business, you're gonna learn about the toys and in the whole seasonal categories. You're gonna learn about secret, not necessarily gated, but just secret categories. I learned how to maximize buys in that a lot of people don't know about. You're gonna learn how to reverse and go from the end sale backwards. You're going to learn all of those things in Retail Arbitrage 2.0. And again, the prerequisite is you have to be a member of Amazon Selling Hustle. You have to be a member of that course and that program in order to qualify for Retail Arbitrage 2.0, online arbitrage or hybrid arbitrage, which will be coming out later on, as well as private label 2.0. So other than that, guys, if you have any questions about it, hit me up in the comment section below. If any questions about inventory today, let me know. It was great being back here, and it was great doing a video. I haven't done one in like 10 days, so gonna get back into the momentum of things, and we will enjoy this season while it's still here. Whoa, that's my costume. That's my Halloween costume this year. Bumblebee. I just need a yellow outfit. So, all right, guys. Coach Chris Beck, the wise guy. Enjoy.